So next up, we have Studio Schools Australia. So Studio Schools Australia is intent on empowering the next generation. Alison Wunungmurra, a Yolngu woman, is Deputy Principal at the noted Yirramalay Studio School in Western Australia. Having received landmark funding from the Commonwealth Government, Alison and her team are working closely with local people to introduce and establish the Gulkula Studio School in northeast Arnhem Land. Please welcome Alison.
You might mark Dapir Karma. Might mark that Numaka Studio School na inviting yothuyindifoundation, allowing us building partnership towards our school, as I say, Studio School Australia. There's a plan that yothuyindifoundation is partnering with Studio School, and that's Yalala. Our CEO is going to talk about that in one of the sessions. Kajun Yappa, Punaba Yolngo from down Fitzroy area. Angaranyando Lakaram, just who we are and promote our school and what do we do and what is our interests, how we engage, and what our model looks like, and how we bring education into how we incorporate and implement that in our classroom space, and also learning on country. Outside Lilga, working with our partners Wunungmurra from down WA Kimberley. Kurta Oma Orokun is a really good metaphor that gives us insight, Kabulo, making our mind to not just think broadly, not just think like now, you know, one kind of discourse, just looking through the narrow view and how we see it. It allows us to think broadly, and how we're going to be strong, how we build those bridges, how we partner, how we empower in the power of education. Kadual team DL, Yang Balagarma, 2024, is a good metaphor that I think gives us that mindset that we have to put ourselves and allow ourselves to have that mind to how do we refresh, how do we rejuvenate the education that from where we are, our past, present, our future. And how do we as educators bring our next generation that is coming up and looking at us who we are as leaders in our spaces. For Studio School Australia, it's a model that allows us to be flexible in the way that we bring education. And it has 4 circles in our Gulkula. As you can see, one of our Pungawa, Tenya, she's wearing that 4 model. It tells us that language and culture is Yindi. It holds everything what we do in education. Learning, like one of the circles is industry learning, academic learning, and culture, language. And in that space, we not only bringing our students into this classroom space and engaging them in the classroom settings, but through that model, it's mobile. We can go in and out with our schools. Vision is to create our schools anywhere in the nation, in our country. And the studio schools, that 4 circles represents how we bring industry learning, what that looks like in the classroom, what that looks like outside. How do I engage our students, how do these teachers lead, and what to do, what is the process of doing that? So we go in and out of our classrooms and we bring now we bring in Wunungmurra language and culture into our space, and our students are learning what happens outside. Not going through our seasons tell stories, our flora and fauna tell stories, tarpa, urki, everything that is in it, in our countries, tells us everything. And through that, if we pass those knowledge to our kids, then they're going to be strong. They're going to be that person that they're going to empower. And I see someone, like Wunungmurra educator, indigenous educator, so they can look up and not think that they can't do it. When they see someone standing up and speaking, when we talk about education and empowerment, the energy that comes within that, they can look at us and say, I can do that, and I can bring, and I can learn what is given to me and the opportunities that I'm getting now. And how do I do that? One of the 4 circles that our school has is the language and culture that holds us together, that binds us. The academic learning is true when the teachers are in the classroom, leading them, doing their research work in leadership. They do research work in tourism, everything that we need to have to be able to allow us to step into the different space and have that transition to where we are from the school and after we leave our school. So that's the space, that's the model that allows our students to think that they can. We don't push them too hard, but we allow them to be who they are and how we're going to meet them, where do we meet them, and how do we cater for individual students at our school. When I saw that model, I was like really excited, and I was like, I should go down there, Yuttawanga, Ripuanga, but I knew how I could, because I now know the Wunungmurra from down there now, Jamarkole went down there, and it just like, I feel that I'm really excited to be in that space, because it's everything that is incorporated in the learning that we do. And we're learning both way, Wunungmurra Balanda. And when we talk about both way education, that is the key of where we're going to take our kids, how we're going to be that person that are building partnership with the colleagues around us, Balanda Malaga Wunungmurra together, and how do we promote education. In what we see at the bigger picture, nanga individual, where we are, and what is those stepping stones that could lead us towards that bigger picture. We want our kids to have a stronger future, to be strong in both ways, Wunungmurra Balanda. We want our kids to be empowered in the power of education. Marma, both Wunungmurra Ngapaki. How do we move forward? What is that stepping stone looks like for our Jamarkole? How do we build those relationships? Where do we find ourselves? How do we value education within that sacred space like Doal Garma? And we build those partnerships, we build relationships, we connect, we share stories, and we go forward. Because we can understand as leaders that these stepping stones are ahead of us, but how do we promote it? How do we lead our students, our Jamarkole from the next generation? And what does that stepping stones mean to us? and our value. So to leave dual government, thank you for allowing me to be in this space. I thank you, Youth in the Foundation, to let me share our stories, and let's continue building those meaningful partnerships and learn to collaborate, learn to relate, learn to mix, share stories to one another if we want our future to be stronger, bright. So let's do it. Let's see the meaning of that stepping stone. How do we go forward? What is the things that we need to do to make that stepping stone meaningful to us, and what that pathway looks like to the brighter future? Thank you.